Number 10. Candace Owens. In 2020, when Harry Styles made history as the first male to have a solo cover of Vogue, what really surprised people was that he wore a dress. The conservative commentator did not approve of his clothing choice, and so she tweeted, "There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this, in the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack. Bring back manly men." In response to this, Olivia Wilde called Candace pathetic for basically attacking Harry's gender expression and conflating wearing a dress with being feminine. Then in response to that tweet, Candace hit back at Olivia, tweeting, "You're single for a reason," referencing her split from longtime partner Jason Sudeikis, which was announced just days earlier. The Twitter feud recently resurfaced online and has since gone viral after the actress was spotted holding hands with Harry at one of his friends' weddings a few weeks ago. But many fans pointed to the tweets as evidence that Olivia has always been defending and standing up for Harry. Number 8. Amani Babaran. The author, influencer, and activist reacted to the hypocrisy surrounding the viral video that was leaked of Olivia Wilde addressing the feud between Shia LaBeouf and Florence Pugh. She tweeted, "This whole Olivia Wilde thing reminds me of the Whitney Cummings thing. Reminds me of so many recent incidents in Hollywood where white women have revealed that they acquire power in the industry not because they challenge norms but tout female empowerment while changing nothing." In the clip, the 38-year-old is seen driving a car and speaking to the camera at the same time. She tells Shia that she is not ready to give up on the possibility of him working on the film, despite the fact that she later claimed to have fired him. But in reality, the video exposed that she was the one pleading with him to stay on the project. Shia was pretty much out to expose her and wrote an email to Variety explaining how everything went down. Quote, "Firing me never took place, Olivia, and while I fully understand the attractiveness of pushing that story because of the current social landscape, the social currency that brings, it is not the truth. So I am humbly asking as a person with an eye toward making things right that you correct the narrative as best as you can."
Number 7, we have Harrison Ford. With claims that the devil was with them both, rumors started circulating that both Harrison and Pitt didn't get along while filming The Devil's Own, with Pitt noting that the film was the most irresponsible bit of filmmaking he's ever seen. Majority of the two feuds came from the fact the actors couldn't decide which character should be the center of the film. With the two doing separate interviews about the film, Ford came out to say that for a second, Brad forgot for a minute he was talking to someone who was paid to write this stuff down. While the two were really excited to work with each other before the film started, it's sad to see that these great actors clash and let the worst get the best of them. Number 6, we have Mark Canton. Now, Harrison wasn't the only one who was said to had a feud with Brad Pitt while on the set of The Devil's Own. When Pitt claimed the film was irresponsible and that he couldn't believe how toxic the set was, news started to circulate that Pitt wanted to leave the film. That's when Mark Canton, the head of Columbia Pictures, had to threaten Pitt with a $63 million lawsuit that if he went through with the walkout, he was gonna sue him that. Mark even had to tell the actor that he didn't care and just to shoot something. While the filming was taking place, Pitt ultimately decided to avoid the lawsuit and stay on set. Number 5, we have Jennifer Aniston. Back in 1998, Jennifer and Brad were spotted on their first date, and by November of 1999, the two announced their engagement to the world, getting married on July 29, 2000. Despite both claiming they were madly in love with each other, ultimately, they decided to file for divorce on March 25, 2005, as rumors started circulating that Pitt may have had an intimate relationship with co-star Angelina Jolie while on set of Miss and Mr. Smith. Just after the divorce, Aniston agreed to do an interview with Vanity Fair where she opened up about still mourning her marriage and she desired just to move on. Aniston explained that her relationship sadly came to an end when it cracked open that she was shown photos of Pitt and Angelina, and she was sad because Pitt and Angelina beforehand denied both the allegations that they were together. Since the pair split, the two since seem to have rekindled their friendship and have gotten close since Pitt divorced Angelina Jolie. Shia LaBeouf, coming in at number 4. When on set of Fury, Brad Pitt is said to had some tensions with the actor. Shia didn't play around when it came to his character for his parts of the film, and he was so committed to the role he wanted to bring justice to his character. The actor was so into character, he even had one of his front teeth removed and went tased without showering. While Shia was determined to make an impression with his work on Fury, he may have rubbed off the wrong way towards Brad Pitt. With a lot of the tensions on on set, Shia explained that him and Pitt actually ended up in a physical altercation where they were constantly butting heads throughout the filming process. Pitt has refused to talk about the feud and ultimately decided to praise the actor on his commitment to his work.
Number 3. Mark Joseph Stern. When the 1929 movie Richard Jewell came out, it was steeped in controversy, mostly because of Olivia Wilde's portrayal of real-life journalist Kathy Scruggs. The real Kathy, who died in 2001, was working at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution when she broke a story that the FBI was investigating a security guard named Richard Jewell for the bombing in Centennial Olympic Park during the 1996 Olympics. But the issue with the movie was that it depicted the iconic female journalist as having traded sex for information, which was particularly offensive considering the fact that there was no evidence Kathy Scruggs ever did that, and even many of her past colleagues came forward condemning the movie. Slate's senior writer was among the loudest voices in protest of the film and slammed Olivia for her role. Quote, "Please do not pay to see movies that feature fictional female journalists who sleep with sources for a story. It's egregiously sexist, demeaning, and an insulting trope at this stage, and I don't see an appropriate response other than a flat-out boycott. It's 2019. Smart, thoughtful people have condemned this offensive trope loudly and consistently for years. They have persuasively explained why it is abhorrent. And he wasn't the only one taking offense." Number 2. Jessica Biel. There was once a claim out there that Jessica Biel did not want Justin Timberlake to be anywhere near his ex-girlfriend Olivia Wilde, and allegedly sees her as a threat. It's completely understandable that Jessica wouldn't be jumping at the opportunity for Justin to work with Olivia again, given that in 2011 they were seen partying together at a Hollywood club called the Roxbury, and allegedly got pretty handsy before leaving together at 3 a.m. The actors, who were co-stars at the time in the movie Now, reportedly cuddled in a VIP section before moving out onto the patio. Eyewitnesses said that the two of them were even seen kissing. Even though Olivia responded to the rumors by tweeting, "Cool it, honey badgers, we are just friends and have been for years." But not only that, Jessica's marriage to Justin was also tested in 2019 when he was spotted with his co-star Alicia holding hands during a night out in New Orleans. The photos caused a huge scandal, and Justin had to make a public statement the following month, apologizing for his strong lapse in judgment, and claimed that despite the photos, nothing happened between him and his co-star. So Justin certainly has a rocky history when it comes to infidelity. And coming in at number 1, Jason Sudeikis. After a 7-year engagement, the pair announced that they had separated in November of 2020. Like most celebrity couples that live in the public eye, their divorce is very messy, and so was their big public breakup and bitter custody battle over their 2 young children. But it seems like these two are still at each other's throats, which may or may not be due to the fact that Olivia allegedly cheated on Jason with Harry Styles, which was one of the main reasons for their split. In fact, it was heavily implied that the two of them had been having an affair for around a month before the breakup. And what made it even worse was that Jason reportedly didn't realize it was happening and even brought their children to visit the set. The actress and director was faced with a bitter surprise when she was served custody papers halfway through her talk. She later told Variety, "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people, and the studio that I was up there representing try and sabotage that was really vicious. But you know, sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason that I left that relationship." Ouch.
At number 10, we have Olivia Wilde. Olivia has stated that, like any relationship that ends, it doesn't just happen overnight. Unfortunately for Jason, the two have had bumpy roads and it officially dissolved the relationship. A nanny to the couple, however, would later reveal that the actor was so distraught by his breakup with Olivia that he allegedly threw himself in front of a car to prevent her from leaving. Before the incident occurred, Olivia was trying to leave to see her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, it said that Jason was chasing her around the house and she could be heard saying, "Jason, I'm scared of you." Jason responded by saying, "If you're so scared of me, why are you leaving your kids with me?" Jason would then go outside and lay under Olivia's car to prevent her from leaving. The two would later come out and say that the rumors aren't true, but the nanny would reveal more later, which would make you question if the two stars were telling the truth or not. At number 9, the nanny. It's said that Jason allegedly threw his nanny out of his house after he was filled with rage over Olivia Wilde's new relationship relationship with Harry Styles. The former employee claimed in an interview with Daily Mail she received a text message from Jason saying, "You're going to get your stuff and get out. Why are you sending these messages to her?" The woman then claimed she responded by telling the star he had been drinking and she could tell he was under the influence and that she was afraid of him. A rep for Olivia would claim that the woman chose to resign and that her claims were false. The nanny, however, told Daily Mail that she did have plans to quit, but offered to work for the couple for another 6 months until they found a replacement. However, after the incident took place, the nanny packed her bags and headed to Rosewood London Hotel. When she was asked about a severance pay, she said she was given nothing at all. The whole experience also made her question her career as a nanny, and she said she always loved her career and how they treated her definitely upset her. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
Number 7. Tao Ruspoli. Olivia met her first husband, filmmaker and Italian prince Tao Ruspoli, through a friend of her family's in late 2002. The actress wasn't initially eager to meet him, but she warmed to the idea and she was charmed by his personality, charisma, and political activism. Just 6 months later, they eloped and seemed to be truly happy, and would eventually go on to pursue several film projects together. But in March of 2011, 8 years after eloping, Olivia filed for divorce from Tao. He did seem to be a lot more heartbroken out of the two of them, and even made a documentary called Monogamish, which was inspired by his heartbreak over the divorce. In the film, he revealed, "My wife just left me after nearly 10 years together, and my whole world has crumbled." But for her part, it seemed like Olivia almost wanted to embarrass her ex. In 2020, at an event hosted by Glamour Mag, she discussed trying to fake happiness with her ex-husband towards the end of her marriage. In fact, she aired out all their dirty laundry and talked about how bad their sex life was. Quote, "I felt like my vagina died. Turned off, lights out. You can lie to your relatives at Christmas dinner and tell them everything on the home front is just peachy, but you cannot lie to your Even if she was joking, that would have been a little painful for anyone to hear." Number 6. Gianmarco Soresi. As Olivia Wilde was presenting at CinemaCon and talking about her new movie Don't Worry Darling, a woman from the audience approached her and handed her a yellow envelope, which read "Personal and Confidential." The whole thing was caught on camera. As the actress opened the envelope, she found that it was custody papers from her former partner Jason Sudeikis. After a brief moment of shock, she decided to continue on with her presentation, but later addressed the bizarre moment in an interview with Variety. Quote, "In any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. It was really upsetting. It shouldn't have been able to happen. There was a huge breach in security, which is really scary. The incident put Jason in a really bad light, but surprisingly, some people thought it was staged." Gianmarco Soresi, a New York actor and stand-up comedian, seemed to believe that the whole thing was a PR stunt. He tweeted, "We're a couple of days away from finding out that Olivia Wilde served herself custody papers." Not only did his tweet blow up, but a lot of people were apparently thinking the same thing. As another user wrote, "On the very same day, Olivia just announced the release of the trailer of her new movie, and days later, Jason started a new project. As if they wanted all the attention on them. Open your eyes." Wow. Number 5. Florence Pugh. As we know, the Hollywood it girl appears in Olivia Wilde's upcoming film alongside Harry Styles. However, there was reportedly much tension on the set between the two women. Florence allegedly wasn't too happy seeing her director hook up with Harry, considering the fact that at the time she was still married to Jason Sudeikis. But the main reason for the feud between the two actresses is because Florence reportedly did not feel safe or comfortable playing Shia's love interest in the movie, as the actor has been recently plagued with disturbing allegations like accusations of domestic violence. And while Olivia made it seem like she was understanding and going to accommodate her request, the video Shia leaked of her tells a different story entirely. In the video, Olivia sounded heartbroken that he was leaving the project, and instead makes it seem like Florence was the problem after all. She said, "The fact that you're leaving might be a little bit of a wake-up call to Miss Flo. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into this at this point, and if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think?" So it's easy to see why Florence would be upset at that. Number 4. Vanessa Hudgens. When the High School Musical star made some pretty controversial comments complaining about having to quarantine and COVID restrictions, Olivia Wilde was quick to shut her down. During the Instagram live, Vanessa Hudgens said, "Yeah, till July sounds like a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. It's a virus. I get it. I respect it. But at the same time, like, even if everybody gets it, people are gonna die, which is terrible, but like inevitable." Her tone-deaf comments earned her a whole bunch of backlash on social media, especially from Olivia, who slammed her in a tweet of her own, writing, "In 1,000 years, they'll dig up our society and find this precious digital moment and be like, oh okay, so this is why they mysteriously disappeared from the earth." She also left emojis of a head shaking in disappointment. All the criticism ultimately led the actress to return to her Instagram to clear up the misunderstandings. Vanessa wrote, "Hey guys, so yesterday I did an Instagram live and I realized that some of my comments are being taken out of context," and she proceeded to apologize for coming off as insensitive. It's unclear whether or not the two have made up since 2020, but it's likely Vanessa is still feeling the sting from being burned online.
At number 2, we have Kay Cannon. So before Jason was engaged to Olivia, he was once married to Kay Cannon. Now Jason was married to the screenwriter and producer Kay Cannon for 4 years before separating in 2008. However, for the couple, their careers always came first, and this ultimately led to the destruction of their marriage. Jason would later say while he was married to Kay, he had to give up 2 things he loved the most while he took a writing job for the show. He had to give up performing and living with his wife. Ultimately, Jason chose his career over his wife and chose to go on the show, and the two shortly split after. Now, Jason has noted that he did have a sign it was over before he went on the show, but the show just finalized things. With both having really busy lifestyles and big dreams, it makes a lot of sense why the two would split and would still continue to support each other as friends. At number 1, we have Chris Rock. It's said that Chris Rock one time hijacked Jason's Saturday Night Live audition. When Jason first auditioned for the iconic sketch comedy show, Chris Rock would go on to steal his thunder. Jason was backstage calming his nerves before he went on set, and all of a sudden, Jeff Ross and Chris Rock entered the backstage. Now at the beginning, he just thought Chris and Jeff were there to see the new talent. Unfortunately, Chris wasn't there to watch, but rather to perform. Now Chris is standing right beside Jason, and Jason puts his drink down to head to the stage, and Chris goes, "Hey man, was this your big shot?" And Jason was like, kinda. And then he went on to say, "Sorry." Immediately after the interaction, an announcer welcomed Chris Rock to the stage. Now, Jason was a little hurt by the experience. However, before Chris left the building, he wished the comedian good luck and told him that the crowd loves original thought. Coming in at number 10, we have Aaron Taylor Johnston. Just after the movie Bullet Train hit theaters, Brad Pitt's co-star, Aaron Taylor Johnston, had a lot to say about the 58-year-old co-star Brad Pitt. He even revealed that his humble and gracious human being has a list of actors he refuses to work with. He's in a new chapter of his life. I think you work with many actors, and after a while you start making notes. I'm definitely not working with this person again. Brad has this list too. The good list and the bad list. True, not everybody gets along with each other on set, and Hollywood has a history of co-stars clashing. So if Brad Pitt is looking to keep himself out of drama by eliminating people he doesn't want to work with, then more power to him. There's no doubt that Aaron and Brad had a great working dynamic from what we can see in the movie. Let's just hope these two don't have each other on the bad list and they're on each other's good list so we can see them work together in the future. Coming in at number 9, we have Mark Forrester. It's claimed that since 2012, Mark Forrester and Brad Pitt refused to talk to each other, and probably for good reason. It's said that the relationship between the actor and director broke down to a degree that when they were filming the zombie apocalypse film, World War Z, the two had to communicate through third parties on set. With the film working on a tight deadline and the script being finalized and release dates being pushed back, and Pitt having final approval over new pages written by the writers, things definitely got a little heated on set. While Pitt wanted to salvage the end of the movie, Forrester wanted to scrap it and make the ending more simple. When Mark opened up about the drama, he said he believed he wasn't the problem in the first place, and rather than chucking more CGI at the problem, Mark stuck with his gut and basically kept pushing till the problem went away. So kudos for him for having the strength to do that. At number 8, we have Tom Cruise. Now, the pair starred in the 1994 film Interview with the Vampire. Pitt stated he couldn't stand working with Tom Cruise and that he found him annoying. Brad also noted that while they were filming the film, the actor felt miserable and that Cruise bugged him so much, it came to the point he started to resent him. The filming was so bad, at one point Cruise even tried to get off the film by asking the producer and film executive, David Geffen, how much it would cost, and David told him $40 million. Ultimately, Cruise decided to stay on the film, and the finished product product shows that Pitt and Cruise had tension as both appeared to look exhausted. With the new Maverick sequel hitting box office, Tom wasn't shy to remind folks that he's back on top in Hollywood while his past co-host is nowhere near. At number 7, we have Harry Styles. Now, with everything going on, you're probably wondering how Harry Styles feels about the whole ordeal. Well, it seems like Harry is doing his best to stay out of this messy divorce, and I don't blame him. With Jason coming out to say Olivia left him for Harry, this is definitely a situation you want to avoid answering, as one bad move can definitely label you as a homewrecker, and that's definitely something the pop star will want to avoid. Harry has taken the time not to reach out to Jason at any point, mainly because he feels like it isn't his place to interfere. With Olivia denying she left Jason for Harry and Jason saying she did, it makes you wonder who's really telling the truth. So what do you think? And let me know in the comments below. At number 6, we have Keely Hazel. Being first linked back in 2021, Jason and Keely have split just nearly after 1 year of dating. The two have been close friends since they first met while filming Horrible Bosses 2. A source claims that Jason wasn't ready for anything serious as he was still processing his split from his fiancée Olivia. However, with Keely being ready to get their relationship to the next level, Jason was still devastated over his split with the mother of his children. However, he did feel safe and relaxed with her, and the pair did truly enjoy each other's company. Since the beginning, they were friends and they didn't know how long their relationship would last, because Jason has stated over and over again he isn't looking for anything serious anytime soon. While Keely was ready to cozy up with Jason, he just was looking for a good time, which ultimately led to some problems within their relationship and may have been the reason for their split. At number 5, we have Don Cheadle. Now, Jason had a lot to say during his acceptance speech for Best Performance by an Actor in the television series for his role on Ted Lasso. Now, the actor began to struggle with his words after he found out he won the award. Jason would go on in a long speech that he would thank his family and his co-stars. Now, the humble actor would then go on to say that he rejects being the best actor because in his opinion, the best actor is the person you are acting with, and that's why he had to shout out all of the people he got to act with on the show. Now, at this point, Don started to give Jason the wrap-up speech. As Jason was continuing to talk while the fellow nominees started to laugh, Jason would acknowledge that Don was right and he needed to wrap this puppy up. Now, I know if I ever won a huge award, I wouldn't even know what to say, and I would probably just stand there and do the classic smile and wave energy before awkwardly leaving. So luckily for Jason, Don was there to help him wrap it up before things got a little too messy. At number 4, we have Ice Cube. So Ice Cube once almost got Jason into trouble back in 6th grade. On an appearance for The Late Late Show with James Corden and Ice Cube, Jason explained that he used to write lyrics and memorize them by writing them down. When Jason was back in 6th grade, he loved Ice Cube, so to learn his song, he wrote it down and memorized the lyrics. Well, Jason wouldn't leave out any words. So the night before class one day, he decided to write down all the lyrics to Gangster Gangster. Now, the next day, Jason would go to class and he was showing the lyrics with a centerfold from an adult magazine to 8 other boys in his class. However, when his teacher, Miss Huffy, came in, she took the paper away and handed the boys their homework before leaving the room. Now, one of Jason's friends decided to scribble on a piece of paper and swap the confiscated paper out before shoving it into his sock, and when the teacher came back and asked where the paper was, no one knew where it went. His friend then started freaking out about it, and then the group of boys got sent to the office. Now, the principal was really disturbed because the teacher was telling her the lyrics were violent, and then the boys got busted and sentenced to detention. Number 3, we have Leonardo DiCaprio. Before the 2019, when the pair filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it said that Leonardo DiCaprio actually had a restraining order against Pitt, and ultimately, that's why they didn't star any films together before 2019. In an interview, Brad joked that an incident they were no longer like to talk about happened as a result of the pair not getting along. In 1994, when Pitt was engaged to 90s blonde icon Gwyneth Paltrow, it said that Gwyneth broke Brad Pitt's heart when she ended their engagement, and after the breakup, it's rumored that Gwyneth was seen with Leonardo DiCaprio, and the pair was seen together. This obviously didn't sit well with Pitt, and his actions were pretty questionable towards DiCaprio, causing the restraining order to be put in place. However, in 2019, the stars both squashed their beef and are now said to be the bestest of friends. Number 2, we have Mike Tyson. Brad Pitt has always been in the headlines when it comes to his relationships, and this particular fling, no one saw coming. In 1988, Mike Tyson explained he was seeing now ex-wife Robin Givens when he caught Robin and Brad together. Tyson claimed he was mad and hurt by the incident, and he and Robin shortly after finalized their divorce. While Tyson claimed he was hurt by the whole ordeal, he also noted that he holds no ill feelings towards the top-ranked actor. Number 1, we have Angelina Jolie. Now, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have had an ongoing feud since their split in 2016. With the two being locked in a messy court battle for divorce, the custody of their children, Angelina recently brought up some completely shocking allegations against Pitt that haven't been discussed to the public before. The allegations claim Pitt was passionately aggressive, not only towards Jolie, but their children as well. While Pitt has decided to remain silent on the new allegations, Angelina is definitely set to expose more allegations to the public soon, which is definitely going to be hard for Brad Pitt to bounce back from this one.